Cemetery, and it's really creepy. There's a lot of really old stones, really old trees, and I'm going to show you around a little bit. And supposedly it's also haunted. So let's go and take a look. As we're standing here, there was a guy that came in, a really old guy, and he went into the woods over that way. And he's all by himself. He looked kind of unassuming, but you never know. And I don't know why you go in the woods here, because the woods are really creepy. Alright, one of the stones that we saw here that was kind of a question mark for us was this one here. This is Alfreda, and Alfreda lived to be 3 days old. Alfreda died in 1857, but she still has a lot of people that care about her or are fans or something. There's all kinds of this stuff here. I'm not sure what's in this little bag here. There's all sorts of kids' toys. This really creepy doll with one eye. This toys, a pen. This rainbow, not sure what it is. Some feathers. There's a crystal. And a lot of coins. Now, we looked it up and found out that coins can signify, like a penny, signifies that you were just there to visit. And a nickel is if you trained with someone in the military, if you trained with them. And a quarter, it says, has the greatest significance, but it doesn't say what the significance was. But there's lots of coins around Alfreda's tomb, and there's a weird pillow behind it too. And coins and a doll underneath. But the Hello Kitty also has one eye. I almost wonder if she only had one eye. I don't know, but she only lived to be 3 days old. She's still remembered here today. The other thing about this is I can't really figure out her last name. Oh, Harris. Harris, it says right here. Harris. Alfreda Harris. Alright, yeah, died in 1857. I guess you can Google that. Really creepy grave. Not even one of the haunted things here. Just kind of off. Okay, walking a little bit down the middle of the cemetery here again. These woods are really creepy. The thing I'm walking towards is where they used to keep the bodies of people when they couldn't bury them in the wintertime. And they keep them in this open space here, which is kind of built into a hill. Now this spot is said to be haunted by someone that is, quote, not a nice man. And when we were videoing earlier, there was a whole bunch of acorns from up above that nearly fell on top of us. Just all at once, all of a sudden, like a whole bunch of acorns. I don't know if you can hear on the video, but in the woods, there's all these sounds of like bugs and crickets and things like that that normally you'd hear at nighttime. A lot of creepy sounds we've heard here too, like we thought we heard someone laughing earlier, and we thought we've heard someone like rubbing up against something. And we hear a lot of acorns falling. We know that's just acorns, but something fell and it sounded a lot heavier than an acorn, like a big rock or something heavy. I don't know if you can see way off in the distance there. The guy that we said, kind of walked off in the woods. He's walking back to wherever he came from. You can see him. He's over here. Just kind of creepy. He didn't come to visit the cemetery. He went through the woods. And we're hearing something else over here now. It sounds like, yeah, it sounds like some rocks hitting together or something that wouldn't just happen on its own. This was kind of I thought this looked kind of creepy. You don't see this in a modern day graveyard. All these roots just exposed from this tree. Just makes, it's like really uneven ground here. It's really kind of looks like something out of a movie instead of something you'd see in real life, but here it is. Those creepy woods. There was what we saw was kind of like a trail, a short trail that we started walking down, but we turned around real quick because the trail ended and we didn't want to go in the woods any farther. Yeah, and that's the place where we heard laughter coming from there. So we're not going in the woods. All right, coming around here, this, as I said, is Anderson Cemetery. This is the Anderson family tomb. Now this, a little bit different, because look at this. Look at how this is curved. And it's kind of not made like, I don't know, like bricks or anything like that. The rocks are put together kind of like haphazardly put together. We heard that noise again over here in the woods. And we're hearing it again, yeah. Was not acorns, I can tell you that. We've heard a lot of the acorns, and it's not that. This has a lot of folks buried in this tomb. Now, the haunted part about this is people say that they hear people knocking from this tomb. I put my ear up against it. I did not hear anything. But it does look like the entrance was sealed up, and not in a pretty way, just kind of however they could do it, just to seal it up. We're hearing more about those sounds over here in the woods. Which do not sound like acorns.